We're going to start in a kneeling position. Drawing the arms down, imagine you've got really heavy weights through the arms, which just creates a little bit of tension through the neck. And we're just dropping the chin to the chest and taking the chin up towards the sky 6 times. Making sure that you're not lifting the rib cage or the chest, so I'm just showing you from the side angle. And if you want to open the mouth and stretch open the tongue, that's a really nice way to stretch the throat as well. And let's start to get a little bit of head circles in here. So just stretching through the neck. Again, making sure the shoulders aren't creeping up towards the ears. So drawing those arms down towards the floor. A couple more times. And let's start to integrate some movement into the shoulder. Just going to go 5 times each way, loosening off the shoulder, make some nice circular motions in there. And we're going to again create some tension through the right arm this time as we draw the arm up, behind, twist open, and draw it down towards the ground. Reverse that movement and around. We're going to do this one more time each way, so draw it up, behind, down, again back, open up, around. Now let's just loosen it off by integrating the head, the neck, the spine into the movement. A couple more times. And let's move into the left arm. So again, we draw the arm up, behind, and down. Make sure the arm is under tension. You just feel that the tricep is engaged whilst you're creating that tension through the arm. Draw it up, behind and down, reverse, open, and take it down. Now we integrate it 5 times, so just follow your fingertips with your eyes, let the head and the body move with it. Let's just open up the side body so we reach across and just drop down softly towards the carpet or the mat. And we come up the other side. We return. So left side stretches, we swoop down and we start to open up the right side of the body. And again, right side stretches, we swoop down and up towards the left. One more time, down, through, and up. From there, we're going to start to come into a side twist on the spine. So get yourself set up, make sure the ribs are drawn into the body, the lower back is on the floor. Really lengthen out that right leg. Slowly drop the left knee down towards the floor. Don't force it. And we're just going to draw some circles with the arm. So the intention here is to try and keep in contact with the floor the whole time with the fingertips. Just as you open up. As you open up, inhale, stretch open the ribs. And exhale as you close down. Now we're going to open the stretch a little bit further. So take the bottom leg, take a hold of the foot. Drive the knee back and the hip forwards. The knee back and the hip forward, stretching through the quadricep. And 5 times we're just going to rotate open the body, twisting. So we just make sure that we're not moving from the lower back. We open up. We close down. And we're going to move into the other side. So this time lengthen through the left leg. Again, draw it down towards the ground, don't let it creep up, and take the right knee across the body, but don't force it down, go down where it needs to go. I'm going to show you a different alternate version of how you can move your arms this time. So we're going to do 6 times where you're just drawing full circles, so across the body, again trying to stay in contact with the carpet the whole time with the fingertips, apart from when it goes across the body. Twisting open the upper spine. We're just going to go 3 more here. Opening up the side of the body, the spine, before we take a hold of that left foot and integrating a hip stretch too. So we drive the left knee back and the left hip forwards, and then we start to open up the upper body, twisting open, exhale down. Last one. Come onto your back and settle here for some bridge roll-ups. So tucking through the pelvis, you can see myself adjusting here. I'm starting to roll up through my spine, and then I'm dropping the rib cage and gently lowering my lower back into the floor. Again, we roll up. I'm going to do this 3 times before we add some reaches in. So we drive the hips up, softly lower, come back down. And this time let's reach the left arm across the body. You'll just feel a nice opening through the side of the body. Let's take the hips up and stretch over towards the right. Now start to play around with different areas that you're reaching towards. This just changes the body's angle slightly. Stretches slightly different areas of the body. I'm going to do this for quite a few reps. So just enjoy exploring different ranges. So you can go up towards the sky as I did there. You can reach towards the feet, behind you. Nice, and then from there we're just going to come into a single leg breach. So bring the right knee in towards the chest, and then the left knee in towards the chest as you drive the hips up towards the sky. Just be mindful of the ribs, so drawing the ribs in towards the body as we lift the hips up. Go about another 4 here. And just loosen off the lower back by giving your knees a bit of a roll out. From there, we're going to take the left knee and start to draw it across the body and then to the outside of the body, like an infinity sign. So about 5 times, just rolling it across and to the outside. It can be quite challenging, but that's a great thing for our motor control, our nervous system, and just loosening up the hip capsule. Let's take the right knee again, draw it across and to the outside 5 times. And again, just loosen off those hips by giving your hips a little bit of love there. Okay, so we're going to come onto our front in what's called a shin box position. So as you can see here, both knees are bent. I'm going to flex my toes up towards my shins. This just protects my knee joints. And you're going to come down over the shin, keeping the back nice and straight, and just hold this first stretch for about 5 seconds. From there, you're going to actively push your body away without using your hands. So you've got to use your glute muscles to come back up. And again, we pull ourselves down with our inner thigh muscles. We hold and we push away. We're going to do that one more time. Push away. Now from there, let's just open up the front of the body. So we lift the hips and stretch open. We lift the hips and stretch open the front and the side body. One more time, we lift the hips, stretch open, and one more time coming forwards into that first hip stretch again, just loosening off the glutes and the hips before we transition to the other side. So now just switch those legs. And again, pay attention to both hips want to be facing forwards. Tuck the pelvis underneath, flex the feet to protect the knees, and start to draw yourself down towards the ground. We hold this first one for about 5 seconds. And again, now we're going to push ourselves away from the floor, activating through the hips and the glutes. Pull ourselves forwards, push ourselves away. Last one, we push ourselves away, and again, now we start to lift the hips and stretch open the front of the body. Slowly lower back down. Again, we lift the hips, open. One more time, we lift the hips and open. One more time, reaching forwards, just settling into those hips, stretching and loosening them off. Now that switch hip position, you're going to start to play with this. So we're just switching the hips and adding a little stretch. Switching the hips, challenging your balance and your core. And now here I'm starting to add some reaches. So again, we're just starting to challenge the body in slightly different ranges of motion. And I'm going to start to play with some core stability in a minute. You'll start to see, I'm just changing the angles of my stretches. Oh, here we go, the first one. So I'm just coming into a boat pose, stretching through the core. I'm just going to go a couple more times here. So if you can, let's try and hold that position. And we take the legs behind us, and one final stretch open. Now moving into more spinal work. So we're going to do some roll back. So this is really important that you don't land with a thud. So really draw the rib cage in, tuck the glutes underneath you. So press the lower back into the floor and lift and extend the spine at the top, just so we balance out that spine. So we lift and then we roll softly. From there, we're just going to add a butterfly stretch at the end. So we lift and then we just start to drop forward, stretching into the hips and the groin. Again, we roll back softly. If you're landing with a thud, then just use your arms to support you on the way down. And let's add some reaches. So again, we're integrating hip openers and some nice reaches, just changing the angle of the hip stretch slightly. Coming into an all fours position, I'm just going to do some scapular rolls, just waking up the shoulders. So this, you want to keep your lower back and your upper back nice and still, and just roll through the shoulder blades. Just about 4 times each direction, making sure they're elevating up towards the neck and then back down the back, pushing the ground away with the arms. And now we just do a couple of cat-cows here. So just again, stretching through the spine, tucking the tailbone underneath you, dropping the sternum down towards the ground. Before we move into spinal articulations, this is slightly different. This next one, you're going to start to go from the top of the spine all the way down like a wave to the base. So it takes a little bit of practice to get used to this one, and then you reverse it. So you drop the tailbone, the mid back, the upper back, and again you spread through the upper back, the mid back, the lower back, and then you drop the lower back, the mid back, the upper back. I'm going to go one more time. Before just loosening off the spine by doing some barrel rolls. So imagine that here you're just inside a barrel, just creating, almost cleaning the inside of it, changing direction whenever you feel like it. We're going to step ourselves into a downward facing dog. So gentle here, bend through the knees, walk the ankles out. Try not to collapse all your body weight into your hands. So lighten up your hands by pushing your body away. You can see here I'm just loosening up through the ankles. Let's drop the knees towards the floor and then rise up. So we drop down another 5. Rise up, drop down, rise up onto the toes, drop down, From there, we're going to take our body into a plank position and up into that down dog again. So drawing our bodies forwards using our core strength to support us. Drawing forwards and push back. Last two. Forwards. And last one. Forwards and back. Let's take the right knee up towards the sky, the right foot. And then we're going to take that right knee and draw it up into the right elbow. So I'm just finding some space here, stretching out, and then I'm drawing that right knee in towards the right elbow, so shifting all my body weight forwards into my arms and then extending my leg. Again, let's bring it back. We're doing this 3 times. So last time we draw that right knee in towards the right elbow. Now this time take it underneath and across the body to the left elbow. So we create a twist in the core, we extend, we come across, extend, last one, and extend. Now this time stack the hips on top of the body and start to bring the right knee in towards the middle of the chest, between the elbows. So draw the rib cage in, draw the lower tummy muscles in, and extend the leg, stack the hips. Draw the right knee in and up, stack the hips, stretch the side body. Last time, draw it in and just sink yourself into a nice deep lunge there. So right knee should be by the right hand, adjust the tailbone, making sure we're not compressing into the lower back. And from here, we're going to reach the arm forwards, up and behind us. So a similar motion that we did right at the beginning. Now we lift the hips and stretch through into the hamstrings. We do this another 2 times. So we reach forwards, even more this time, up and behind. Place the hand on the floor, lift the hips, stretch the hamstring on the right leg. One more time, we reach forwards, up, behind, place the hand on the floor, stretch through the hamstrings and back down. Now from here we're just going to stretch the inner thigh muscle, so I'm just going to turn my body, there we go, and I shift my hips back as I stretch my inner thigh on the right side and come forwards. 5 times we'll do this. Come forwards and start to sink your hips back towards the ankle to stretch the inner thigh, actively pressing the right foot into the ground. Use your exhale to soften at the bottom. Great stuff. And from there, we're going to do all of this on the other side. So let's again come back into that downward facing dog position. Again, find some space, some wiggle room, some play. And again, we're going to start to draw that left knee up and the left foot towards the sky. Nice big stretch here, and then we take the left knee into the left elbow, so nice and high, 3 times. We extend and draw the knee up nice and high. Shift the body weight into the arms when you draw the knee into the elbow. Good. Now again we come across the body underneath, so we take the left knee across into the right elbow. We extend up, try to keep the heel down on the right side, stretching through that hamstring if you can. Great. Now this time we're going to stack the hips. I'm going to draw it into the middle of the body. So we stack the hips and we draw the left knee in and through to the elbows, in between the elbows. And again, we extend and stack the hips and draw it into the elbows. And again, extend and stack. Right in. And again, we drop into a left lunge this time. So tuck through the tailbone, just give the hips a little shift side to side, make sure that it feels nice and open. We reach with the arm, we take it up towards the sky, we take it back behind us, and we feed it through. Place the hand by the foot. Lift the hips back behind you, stretch the hamstring. We reach up, behind. Place the hand down, lift the hips, stretch the back of the thigh on the left side. We're going to go one more time here. We reach up, behind. Place the hand on the floor. And we're just going to turn to work that inner thigh stretch. So left side now. Gently starting to draw the hips back towards the back ankle. 5 times, and then just shifting forwards, easing off the stretch. Ease back, actively pressing that left foot into the ground. And we'll go one more time here. Really nice. And then from here, we're going to come into a kneeling position. If you're comfortable, then let's start. So we tuck the tailbone underneath us. You see my body readjusting here. And I'm going to lower my hips down slowly towards my ankles. Now, the more you lean back with the upper body, the more challenging this becomes on the glutes and the hamstrings. The more you lean forwards, the easier it is. So find your sweet spot. We're just going to add some reaches into this. So come to the top, extend the hips, and reach the arm up and behind. Not too much to start with. Lift the chest. Draw the belly in towards the spine. Now we can play around with a little bit more range. And let's start to integrate the hips. So we step out the right leg. Come back into that kneeling. Step out the left leg and reach across with the right side, right arm. Right leg. We're going to do this a few times. We're actually doing this 8 times. So we have another 5. Challenging the balance as we come down. And we have a couple more here before we draw this mobility play to a close. Really, really nice. Last little play around here, and then from there just come into a kneeling, assess the body. How does the neck, the shoulders, the spine feel? And beautiful work. Hopefully you'll feel nice and supple and ready for the day.